Welcome to the Looking Glass Middle School Library. This manual is put together by Allison Boyer, Jenna and Elias, and Eleanor Rodriguez. We will start with the history and demographics of our library. Looking Glass Middle School is located in the heart of the Jabberwock Woods. The school was founded by the infamous Alice during her 5th visit to Wonderland in 1914. Looking Glass Schoolhouse serves students ages 6 to 16. Alice began collecting books from all over Wonderland to create a small student library and combined the land's whimsical texts with factual books from her own world. Since then, the school system in Wonderland has expanded, and the Looking Glass Schoolhouse is now a middle school serving grades 7 and 8. The school's mascot is the ferocious Jabberwock, and the school song is the Lobster Quadrille. The Looking Glass Middle School Library mission is to provide students with the best emerging tools and technologies to grow and expand their imagination. The library aims to be the hub of imagination development in the minds of Wonderland's youth, as imagination is the route to success. We also believe that collaborating with like-minded and not like-minded individuals brings multiple perspectives to an idea and creates a unique and imaginative solution or product. Acceptance of diversity, both in our community and in our collection, is vital. An accurate portrayal of Wonderland's history and current events without the fear of losing one's head is also quite imperative. According to the 2015 Wonderland Census Report, Wonderland has a population of 293,854 citizens. Of this total population, 57% identify as female, 40% as male, and 3% as none of your business. At 53%, the majority of Wonderland's population identify as human or mostly human. The remaining 47% is comprised of anthropomorphic creatures, 19% as animal forms, 13% as playing cards, 9% as plant forms, 4% as animate objects, and 2% as unidentifiable. Because different species age differently, it was difficult for the census report to determine numbers for statistical age ranges. Instead, the median age of a Wonderland citizen is reported to be mature enough for a family. Nearly 24% of the population reported to being school-aged, with 7% of this group also reporting to be angsty pre-adolescent. This last group would be the appropriate age for middle school. Wonderland is known for its prosperous Imagifunds, the official currency of Wonderland. The economy is funded by imagination. More imaginative jobs, such as Imagination Resource Specialist, Company Corporate Imagination Presidents, Royal Imagination Advisors, and Artistic Imagination Interpretationists, to name a few, generate higher incomes. According to the 2015 census, around 79% of households report an average income of 62,000 Imagifunds. Of the remaining 21%, 5% reported wealthy or stinking rich, making 80,000 Imagifunds or more, while the remaining 16% reported poor or help me, making 20,000 Imagifunds or less. The Looking Glass Middle School Library provides service for 200 students and 15 teachers. Of the 200 students, 54% are in 8th grade and 46% are in 7th. Around 51% of the student body identifies as girl, 47% as boy, and 2% as to be determined. Nearly 75% of the student body identifies as human or mostly human, with 12% identifying as animal forms, 10% as playing cards, and 3% as plant forms or unidentifiable. Of the 15 teachers, 7 identify as male, 4 identify as female, and the last 4 identify as none of your business.
Our Looking Glass Middle School Library in Wonderland is similar to many Earth libraries in the sense that it houses a variety of materials such as books, periodicals, audio-visual materials, digital materials, and makerspace stations. And its purpose is to serve students and staff in academic and personal learning. However, for this presentation, we wanted to share our favorite unique aspects of the Looking Glass Middle School Library. First, let's go over the library itself. The Looking Glass Middle School Library is a teetering 10-story structure, round, and contains every known and at least 5 unknown colors of the rainbow. The library itself is located on the 5th floor of the school and takes up the entire floor. The interior of the library resembles Wonderland's natural beauty. The space looks and feels like the woods surrounding the school, complete with talking flowers and small, harmless wonderland woodland creatures, such as various singing plant life, advice-giving caterpillars, bread and butterflies, etc. The individual collections are grouped by topic, such as poetry and persuasion, tea time etiquette, or domestication of humans. While each individual text in each topic stays with their brothers and sisters, each topic collection moves around the library. Students can find these moving topic collections by following the ever-changing trail markers within the library. There are also glowing arrows and footprint symbols on each trail marker and throughout the library floor. They are coded by specific colors designated to each collection and light up around the library following the roving collections. The key showing all the different collections' trail markers is portrayed on signs found all around the library. In addition, all staff employees have an enchanted card showing the symbol key on one side and a miniature map of the library on the other side. This mini-map shows where a collection is in real time, so that if really lost, a student could ask a library staff member for help. Because of Wonderland's diversity, the Looking Glass Middle School Library staff is also unique. Similar to Earth, there is an Imagination Resource Specialist, equivalent to a Library Media Specialist or a Head Librarian, an Imagination Resource Associate, equivalent to a Library Media Assistant, 2 staff librarians, one an Imagination Technology Support, or IT, and the other an Assistant Supervisor, both creatures and students. There are student workers of all races and an established student advisory board. Unique to Looking Glass Middle School Library are the anthropomorphic creature assistants. Following the Equal Employment for Wonderland Creatures Law of 1963, Looking Glass Middle School Library does not discriminate based on gender, sexuality, race, religion, or species. All anthropomorphic creatures, like Cheshires, dodos, cards of any suit, etc., must undergo a screening before the hiring process is complete. This screening will determine the likelihood of danger and test for truthfulness, helpfulness, kindness, and gullibility. The only exceptions are Class 7 dangerous creatures, such as the Jabberwock and Bandersnatch, which will be denied employment as the Wonderland Humane Rescue Organization attempts to lead these creatures away from the school. One specific anthropomorphic creature that Looking Glass Middle School Library would suffer without is the card catalog. This card has the ability to memorize all the materials in the library, where they're located, and their recommended uses. This card is the equivalent of a reference librarian. Next are mirror portals, which serve as multiple entries and exit for the Looking Glass Middle School Library. The entire school runs on a system of linked mirrors, 9 of which lead in and out of the library. The 9 library mirrors walk around the library and can be located using the ever-changing trail markers. Each of the 9 mirrors link to the 9 other floors in the school. In addition to the mirrors, there are 2 emergency exit slides that can take students from the 5th floor to the ground outside. These slides are on opposite sides of the library, east and west. There is also a mirror portal that connects to a great looking glass mirror hanging in Alice's parlor on Earth. It should be noted that, as Alice has passed away, her house is currently a museum. The only person who communicates with and trades materials with Looking Glass Middle School Library is the museum curator, as no one else believes Wonderland exists. The current curator is Lewis Carroll XVII. When acquiring Earth materials, the Imagination Resource Specialist is the only one who can contact the Alice Museum curator, since he is getting old and dislikes unfamiliar faces. All contact is held through the designated Earth Mirror portal. Earth items are always accepted by the Imagination Resource Specialist and placed in Looking Glass Middle School Library's Relia collection, with the exception of kittens, who are allowed to roam the library at their leisure.
Similar to Earth libraries, Wonderland libraries need a guidebook on library procedures. Our policy manual reflects normal library operating procedures such as weeding, acquisitions process, and budgeting. For this presentation, we wanted to share some policies that are unique to our Looking Glass Middle School manual. Realia and preserved work. Looking Glass Middle School's collection contains preserved work and historical realia, items deemed too unique or rare to be put in the public display or destroyed. Much of this collection is materials belonging to the original Alice who visited Wonderland numerous times and helped create the school system in place in Wonderland today. Some preserved works and relia in the collection include old manuscripts and scrolls from olden times in Wonderland, the handwritten speech papers from the first principal of the school, previous year's yearbooks, Alice's golden key, and the printed drink me tag from her bottle of shrinking potion, one of the Mad Hatter's woolen hats, an intricate sugar bowl from the March Hare, and a dried red rose from the Red Queen's garden. This special collection is treated with direct supervision and handling done by a librarian, imagination resource specialist, or any of the assistants with clearance to the collection. No student workers can access the materials without supervision of higher level staff. Rating system in Wonderland. Wonderland does not have the same rating system we are familiar with. Hardly any subject is considered taboo, and there is not as much censorship. However, the library recognizes that not all students mature at the same rate. Some materials would be inappropriate for their current stage of development. As such, materials with graphic scenes of sexual activity and violence or gore, with the exception of historical works pertaining to the fall of the Great Red Queen or the slaying of the last Greater Jabberwock, are not permitted in the library. Other typically Earth-rated topics, such as language or nudity, are not filtered. Looking Glass Middle School Library values the ability of youngsters to learn from Wonderland's value systems, and the library believes censoring and filtering materials doesn't help students as they discover who they are and their place in the world. The library encourages students and their guardians to have discussions with each other when they encounter topics they have questions about. Cheshire Services. Looking Glass Middle School Library pays for anti-theft and protection services created by a Cheshire Cat. The cat also assists with anti-theft maintenance and upgrading the library's technology. One service the Cheshire Cat provides is magical charmed ink, created especially for the school by the Cheshire Cat, and this provides a basic protection of sorts. When it is applied to books and other library materials, the object is charmed with a repellent for wax, minor water contact, oils, paint or pen spills, and jam smudges. This should keep the material looking its best for some time, as well as prevent possible defacement. New furniture can also receive a charm, helping it stay looking new for as long as possible. This charm also makes an object unpleasant to try and steal from the library, as the item in question will scream that it's being removed from its home, alarming library staff. Promotion social media. Looking Glass Middle School Library uses social media accounts on their imagination-powered internet, WonderWeb. This is not only to share news, updates, and pictures and promote the library and its collection, programs, and activities, but it also creates connections to students, staff, and the community as a whole. Library staff can create posts anytime they wish, but the accounts are also moderated to create a steady stream of posts throughout the school year. Looking Glass Middle School Library manages 3 social media accounts. JubJub. This is a short-format social network site that posts chirps real-time, allowing followers to post links to longer stories, short thoughts, and photos. All of these can then be chirped back to other users, broadening the reach of the original chirp. Aha! This site allows users to create their own videos from recordings. The site is known for informational, musical, and do-it-yourself videos. This allows for a wide variety of users and watchers. The library utilizes this by creating short videos for promotion of upcoming events such as feature programs, school activities, even guest speakers, as well as student book reviews, how-to videos, holiday factoids, and showcases of upcoming themed displays. Cocoon and Flutter. This social network site focuses on visuals, allowing users to post photos on their profile page. Only short comments can be made, and users can then link back to or repost images from anyone in their network. Cocoon has recently implemented Flutter, which features short live video posts, not only photos. Users can connect with other users who have Flutter, chat with them, and then post their conversation on their Cocoon profile. The library has quite a few followers on their various social media accounts, especially when they have displays or student activities posted. Library staff make sure to follow the school's student image policy before posting photos or videos with student faces. Promotion, campus and community. In addition to dazzling in-library displays and their social media, Looking Glass Middle School Library also hosts numerous activities throughout the school year to promote itself both on campus and around the community. The library also works with various local businesses and organizations to schedule presentations and other activities. Often these groups will bring donations or prizes for students in attendance. Some of the local organizations that have presented at the school include Wonderland's Historical Society, the Tea Sommeliers Guild, gardening clubs, card game clubs, fencing clubs, and cooking clubs. Popular on-campus activities throughout the year include the Poetry and Riddle Battle, Crafting Days, Yule Helpers, and the Imagination Showdown. Favorite community events include the Back to School Fair, a summer reading program, and the library's famous annual book sale bonfire, one of the school and community's most anticipated events of the year. The annual book sale bonfire. A community and school favorite event, Looking Glass Middle School's annual book sale bonfire fundraiser starts off the summer holiday around mid-June. Staff, students, alumni, and community are encouraged to attend. In past times, under the rule of more tumultuous Red Queens, the library held an actual book-burning bonfire for weeded materials. During this dark time, weeded materials were considered any sort of propaganda against the royal court, or any materials that even encouraged original and creative thought. Now, however, Looking Glass Middle School Library does not burn weeded materials. The largely symbolic bonfire still takes place, but now the weeded materials are for sale, and the community actually looks forward to the bonfire. Materials considered for the book sale bonfire include all types of weeded materials as long as they are not deemed dangerous or hazardous to users. Money is raised from concessions, sold books, donations, and from games and raffles held at the event. This is the largest fundraiser of the year, and those who attend will say it's the most fun. The highest bidder on the bonfire raffle wins the title of Bonfire King or Queen and is allowed to set the largest bonfire ablaze. Thank you for listening and watching our Policy Guide Manual.